Budokai. This video will go over some details in Dragon Ball games that you might not know about. In Dragon Ball FighterZ, there actually are different outfits. If you hold down a special button and choose to play Videl, you can play her secondary outfit and she says different voice lines when selected.
You're up against me now! Was that some sort of trick?
But that's not all. Goku actually has different outfits too. Kinda. Other than shirtless Goku and Goku Black Goku, you have to look very closely to see the differences. Here, you can see that Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku have the same outfit with the same Go symbol on the gi. There is another Goku that I didn't mention yet, and that's Base Goku. See if you can spot the differences in Super Saiyan Goku's gi and Base Goku's gi. The difference is the gi symbol and the hanging belt on Base Goku. I would have liked to see the Whis symbol gi on Blue Goku, but I think it's too late for requests now. Xenoverse actually wasn't the first DBZ game with character customization. The Dragon Ball game with that title is Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi. But what's more interesting is that in some aspects, Ultimate Tenkaichi, may be one of the most hated Dragon Ball games, actually does the customization better than Xenoverse 2 does. For a quick example of this, we can take a look at a completely different detail in a completely different Dragon Ball game that you might already know about and bring it back to Ultimate Tenkaichi. So, you might already know about how in Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, when free roaming in the open world, if you happen to be using a character that has or needs a scouter such as Saiyan Saga Vegeta, when you use the ki sensing ability, since he can't exactly sense ki, he needs to be using his scouter to locate things. And you can see the scouter overlay on screen if you have a character that can sense ki. Since they have no problem doing so, this doesn't happen because, well, they don't need scouters. Because Vegeta becomes one of these characters who no longer needs scouters by the Frieza saga, the game actually reflects that, and Vegeta no longer needs his scouter. He starts sensing ki like how the Earthlings do. There's a similar feature in Ultimate Tenkaichi, and this is where the customization comes in. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Along with story mode, there's hero mode, where you create your character and you can explore the open world. By default, you have a scouter that you absolutely do not need since your character can sense ki no issue. But if you choose to keep your scouter on while exploring the open world and you press the button to search for ki, the game will show the scouter overlay and go first person. Without the scouter, no scouter overlay, no first person. I bet you remember putting your controllers through intensive physical torture in order to win the beam struggles against your opposition while playing the older Dragon Ball games. And maybe you've been playing the more recent games like the two I've already mentioned, FighterZ and Xenoverse, and you're wondering, just thinking, where are all the controller busting beam struggles? I got a Dragon Ball game because I wanted my controller to lose functionality. Well, with Xenoverse, you could just mod it in to make it work, but if not, you do have one option, even if it's not exactly what you were looking for. Unlike all of the other recent Dragon Ball games, aka the ones with PvP, Kakarot is the only recent Dragon Ball game entry that they decided they wanted to keep beam struggles in. This is probably because this game is much more focused on the story of Dragon Ball Z, and beam clashes is just something that tends to happen a few times in the story. They felt the need to include it, I guess. That's not everything I have to say about Kakarot though. Kinda. The Dragon Ball mobile game, Dragon Ball Legends, has a lot of different versions of the same characters. This makes the game's roster pretty huge, and it's always expanding. In the massive character roster that is Dragon Ball Legends playable characters, they've got a lot of Gokus. Understandable for a mobile game. With an infinite amount of Gokus, they decided to also include a collaboration with none other than Goku a Goku x Dragon Ball Legends collab, a Goku x Goku collab. For this, they chose to take inspiration from the non-mobile console game Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and they put the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot version of Kakarot in Dragon Ball Legends for one more extra version of Goku. He fights just like how Kakarot does in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, as you would expect Kakarot to do, and he's pretty fun in Legends. Question: what game did Towa and Mira originate from? If you're not really deep into Dragon Ball games trivia, then you might not actually know this. Towa and Mira are the main villains in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, but they didn't even originate from the Xenoverse series at all. They actually come from an MMO Dragon Ball game that was set to take place 216 years after the end of the Dragon Ball manga. Xenoverse, Xenoverse 2, and Dragon Ball Heroes have all taken a lot of different elements from this game. The game was called Dragon Ball Online and has been shut down for over 10 years now. It was and still is a very cool concept for a Dragon Ball MMO, and it's kind of sad to see it become unplayable. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, along with being the very first Dragon Ball game to feature a playable Super Saiyan God form transformation, was also the first and only Dragon Ball game to feature Goku with an outfit to make him look like Naruto. Apparently, giving Goku Naruto's Sage Mode outfit with the headband taught him all of Naruto's hand sign, which he now uses to do his own special attacks like his Ki Blasts and his rush attacks. Not only did they give him the hand signs, but they made him do the Naruto run like a ninja with his arms behind him while he's on the ground. They didn't give the Kamehameha any Rasengan treatment, but this entire version of Goku was a part of a collab between Battle of Z and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, where in that game, Naruto could use a Goku outfit, was equipped with the power pole, and he would do his Rasengans as if he were about to do a Kamehameha wave. I stream Dragon Ball games and new games daily. I post shorts daily, and I'm dropping more of these details videos. So check my channel if you're interested in any of that, subscribe, and check out this video if you want a little more.